A lot of people still talking about, will Jordan Lawler or producer Evan have a better winning percentage, hitting percentage at the end of the season? There's not a lot of
All right, I want to say this.
Be careful. Be careful. Because don't say something that I'm going to then have to defend because you're the producer of the show.
Yeah,
don't put me in the middle here.
Here's my thought. Whoever calls in from you can say this, Brian, he was the one who initially brought it up. Brian called in. But if you're jumping in, you got to call in and make picks.
You know what? I'll back you up on this one. If you're out there thinking that you agree with what Brian said, you better be involved tomorrow. You better be involved.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's fair. If you want to criticize,
play the game.
You got to play the game. Right. You got to be involved. That's fine. That's fair. I would agree with that. We got the power rankings coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Still not sure how I feel about my power rankings. Because there's a team that right now is sitting in the HM spot that probably should be in the top 5, and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm working on that. We'll get to that here in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now. But I want to open hour number 2 discussing a hypothetical. And it's not so much a hypothetical because we saw it on Sunday, but the hypothetical is whether or not it can continue throughout the course of the season. But if it did continue throughout the course of the season, would everything we know about the Arizona Cardinals change? Everything we think we know, everything we expect from this team, ceiling, floor, how we think about individual players, does everything change if what we saw on Sunday for Kyler Murray was true? Because just for a moment, let's envision a world where Kyler Murray limits his turnovers. Doesn't completely get rid of them. He's going to turn the ball over. That happens. But we said in the summertime, hey, it's unfair to look at Kyler Murray and expect him to be a turnover-free quarterback. It's who he is. It's a byproduct in many ways of how he likes to play the position. You're not going to get him to be one of the more efficient and turnover-free quarterbacks in the league. Well, he didn't turn the ball over on Sunday. So what if he didn't turn the ball over to the level that he did his first 6 years? And just to put it in context, 11 interceptions last year. He had 5 interceptions in 8 games in 2023. He had 7 interceptions in 11 games in 2022, 10 picks in 21, 12 picks in both 19 and 20. 57 career interceptions in 83 games. 36 fumbles in those 83 games. So in 83 career games, he has 93 turnovers. He averages a turnover a game for his career. 36 fumbles, 57 interceptions in 83 career games. So I'm looking, he didn't fumble the ball. He hasn't fumbled the ball this year. Fumbled the ball 5 times each of the last 2 seasons. Fumbled the ball 12 times in 2021, although that's kind of an outlier. He's been good in that regard. But if he takes care of the football, he doesn't commit on average 1 turnover every game. What does the offense then look like? What does this team then look like? What is the ceiling on this squad if that is true? Doesn't it completely alter everything we know about this team? Because aren't you kind of expecting him to have a turnover that costs this team a game? Aren't you expecting him to have the turnovers that stop them from getting those statement victories like we want this team to have? Now, Michael says it's the timing of the turnovers. Well, that's the point that we made in the summer, but I'm even taking it a step further. I want to live in a world for just a second where he limits the turnovers, where he's only turning the ball over 5 to 8 times in the course of the season. I'm trying to do some math here on the fly, producer Evan. That's always dangerous. In 2019, he had 15 total turnovers. In 2020, he had 17 total turnovers. In 2021, he had 22 total turnovers. So we're talking double-digit turnovers. In 22, he had, 6 fumbles and 7 picks. That's 13. In 23, he had 5 fumbles and 5 interceptions. That's 10 turnovers in 8 games. In 24, he had 11 picks and 5 fumbles, 16. He's had double-digit turnovers every single year, including the years in which he didn't play a full season. Years in which he played 11 games. A year in which he played only 8 games. Still, double-digit turnovers. So what if he only turned the ball over 8 or 9 times? What if he limited those turnovers? Doesn't it make you think that the offense has a higher ceiling? Doesn't it make you think that this team's going to be able to win more games than we originally thought? Doesn't it make you feel better about matchups inside the division? Don't you feel like, oh, we can beat Seattle if he's going to limit the turnovers? The 2 Seattle losses last season, I can directly link them back to turnover-worthy plays by Kyler Murray. Does it make you feel better about games like this weekend against Carolina? He's not going to turn the ball over. Don't we get that statement victory? Don't you feel like if he finds a way to play very similarly to how he played on Sunday, being turnover free?
Sure, but I thought that last week, right? Like I thought if he doesn't turn the ball over, and I said this on the air, if he does not turn the ball over, they're going to win by 2+ scores. And they didn't. Because they still weren't efficient on offense. I need to see him run an efficient offense in addition to him not turning the ball over.
So it's not just about the turnovers for you. You need to see the turnovers in addition to a better, more efficient offense. And to your point, you got the turnover-free game, and I didn't see a more efficient offense on Sunday. Now, all the reasons in the world for that to be the case.
How about this, though? You and I talked about the Cardinals as a 10-win football team. If Kyler Murray turns the ball over less than double-digit times this season, which would be the first time in his career you just highlighted, they're going to win at least 10 games.
If Kyler Murray turns the ball over less than double-digit times, he sets a new career mark in limiting the turnovers.
Yeah, because maybe they don't get the statement win against Carolina if you don't turn the ball over and the offense isn't as efficient, but I'm not worried about you losing that game anymore. So you take out those games that you're not supposed to, or you're supposed to win, and that they have struggled with in the past. Look at Carolina last year. But if you're able to not turn the ball over in those games, you can now win the ones you're expected to win.
You are making the case for a trade-off. That maybe by being a more turnover-free quarterback, you are removing a little bit of the explosiveness that this offense could have. But the exchange is we're going to play close games, but we're going to win those close games because we're doing the little things right.
And you win the field position battle and if this defense is as improved as it's been told to everybody.
Because John says the Cards can win a lot, but if they make the playoffs, will it matter? Well, if Kyler's not going to turn the ball over in the postseason, they have a chance to win any postseason game. That's most postseason games boil down to the turnover battle.
And a mistake, right? Like if you can play,
think about it.
It's a dream, but like if you can play mistake-free football with your quarterback.
Think about it. Sunday Night Football. What was the difference in the game between the Ravens and the Bills? What's the play you think of? The Derrick Henry fumble. That's the play that changed everything. That's the play that made the impact on the Bills being able to make their comeback. Now, again, all of this is hypothetical. All of this needs to bear out. But doesn't it feel like at least early on, we might see that version of this offense?
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And if they don't turn the ball over, they will win 10 games. Do I think that they're going to smash teams like Carolina by playing the same offense they did last week? No. I don't.
You are making a trade-off.
But it's a trade-off that might win you more games. And that's the question.
And it's a trade-off that might improve the overall ceiling of where you can go as a team. And I'm sure Drew Petzing is trying to figure out the best way to utilize the strengths of Kyler Murray's game while also limiting those plays.
The question is, can you win a playoff game playing the style of offense they played in New Orleans?
No, I don't think so.
And I don't think you can either. Because at the end of the day, and we've talked about it, to win on the road in the playoffs, so let's say you have to win at home, is Kyler going to give you those 3 to 5 throws?
Well, the recipe to win on the road in the postseason, we've always said this. You got to be able to run the football. You have to have a good defense. You have to have a coach that is at least equal in the coaching battle, if not better. And you have to have a quarterback that you think can make 3 to 5 throws throughout the course of the game. We did this during the postseason last year because I picked the Rams to go on the road and beat the Eagles. And I said, there's a recipe. There's a formula. If you can do all of these things and you can do them effectively, you stand a chance. You have to be able to run the football. You have to, because if you're going on the road, you assume you're the underdog, right? You're going on the road. You didn't have as good of a season as the other team. You're probably going to be viewed as the underdog. So you're not as talented as a football team. You are not on paper the better team. I've got to be able to run the football because I need to limit this other team having the ball in their hands, being able to dictate the pace, the speed in which we play the game, what type of game we're playing, everything. I need to take that and I need to take their crowd out of it. I need a defense that can help me with that, can make their quarterback frustrated, flustered, get them off balance. I need a coach that's going to be able to win the coaching battle, can scheme up, can match chess move for chess move what the other team does. And then I also need a quarterback that I believe in that can make those 3 to 5 throws during the game that extend a drive. 3rd and 12, we're backed up in our own zone. We pick up 15. We score a touchdown on that drive to extend our lead or to take the lead. Those moments are the plays that I'm talking about. It's the reason why I picked the Rams in the postseason last year. I felt like they had that formula. I felt like they could do that. Ask yourself, what you've seen from Kyler Murray through the first 6 years of his career and what you've seen so far the 1 week, do the Cardinals right now have that recipe? Not sure. I believe they have the running game. I'm close to thinking they have the defense. I need to see more about the coach, and I need to see more with the quarterback. I need to see if the QB can make those 3 to 5 throws. I'm not sure. I think with those 3 to 5 throws comes what we're talking about here. Do you increase your chance for that big turnover?
And the other question, too, becomes how much of it falls on Drew Petzing? And what can you expect from an offensive coordinator who we thought wasn't as creative last year and would need to be, I would say, 5 times more creative for them to win a road playoff game.
And it's funny, talking about Kyler Murray limiting the turnovers, I'm not sure it drastically changes my outlook.
I don't think it does either.
It doesn't make a massive movement where it's 3 to 5 wins differently. It just feels like, what have we said? I'm willing to accept Kyler turning the ball over as much as he is because of the player that they want him to be and the way they want to run the offense and what they think he can do. It is when these turnovers occur. That's what gets me. That's what can be so frustrating to watch, is when he throws a pick in a spot where they're driving to take the lead and they're in the opponent's territory. And he throws the back-breaking interception that hands all the momentum to the other team. Those are the moments that you can't have as a team. So turnover-free or when the turnovers happen, I think they're both the same thing. Honestly, I would much rather have a Kyler Murray who maybe throws an interception on Sunday, but they have the statement win where they win by 17 points.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the version of this team that I want.